morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Alex from Hanoi City of Vietnam. Vietnam is on the rise, new star of Asia, but many people in the world don't know much about the country. They still think that Vietnam is a very poor and very less developed country. And when they hear about the word Vietnam, they just think about Vietnam War. Wow, that's so strange, right? So I want to create this YouTube channel because I want to show you everything about my country as much as possible. So you guys all over the world will know what is Vietnam like. Is the country nowadays very poor, or is the country less developed? Okay, so let's join me to discover the country. Hello again, this is Alex. This first video is to show you the very general information about Vietnam economy. Well, Vietnam is a Southeast Asian country located right below China, with population of over 96.2 million people in 2019. Vietnam ranks the 15th in the world by population. So, we are really a big country by population. Yes, a big country. Vietnam's capital city is Hanoi with more than 8 million people, but it's not the biggest city. The biggest city is Ho Chi Minh with nearly 9 million people. So Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City are two of the 5 largest cities in Southeast Asia. The total area of Vietnam is nearly 130,000 square miles, ranks 65th in the world. Vietnam's currency is VND, or Vietnam Đồng each. And the USD to VND exchange rate is about 23.3 thousand, meaning that 45 US dollars is equal to about 1 million Vietnam Đồng. Well, it's quite a big amount when you convert from USD to VND, right? So most of Vietnamese people are millionaires because an average Vietnamese earns more than 60 million Vietnam Đồng per year. So that's why most of Vietnamese people are millionaires. Yes, millionaires in Vietnam Đồng, okay? So in 2019, Vietnam's GDP is more than 260 billion US dollars, ranks the 44th in the world. Well, the ranking is not so high, but you should look at the growing speed of the GDP. In the last 5 years, the annual growing rate of the GDP of Vietnam is often more than 6.5%, especially more than 7% in the last 2 years, 2018 and 2019. So Vietnam is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Last year, the Development Bank of Singapore predicted that Vietnam's GDP could be bigger than Singapore by 2029 if Vietnam can remain high growing speed like now. But I guess that may happen earlier. Do you think like me? Okay? Okay, another important figure is GDP per capita, or GDP per person. Well, in 2019, Vietnam's GDP per person is about 2,800 US dollars, ranks the 130th in the world. Well, again, the ranking is not so high, but you should look at the growing trend and compare with 20 years ago in 1999. So, 20 years ago, in 1999, Vietnam's GDP per capita was just 370 US dollars. But in 2019, or 20 years later, it was nearly 8 times higher, meaning that it doubles every 5 years. So Vietnam has become a lower middle income country since 2010, with a GDP per capita of 1,300 US dollars in that time. Some countries in the lower middle income group include Indonesia and the Philippines. And Vietnam expects to become an upper middle income country by 2025, stay in the same group with China, Thailand and Mexico. Before the COVID pandemic, the World Bank predicted that Vietnam's GDP could grow at 6.5% in 2020. But due to the global pandemic, they have cut the forecast down to just 4.9%. And in fact, in the first quarter of this year, Vietnam's GDP has increased by 3.82%. Well, the 3.82% is the lowest number in the last 10 years. But in global pandemic situation, this is a dreaming number. You know, our neighbor China has negative growth of minus 6.8% in the first quarter. So Vietnam's 3.82% is fabulous, right? And thanks to the perfect policy of the government, Vietnam has fully controlled the pandemic and remains economic activities normally. So for sure, Vietnam is still one of the fastest growing economies in the world. So do you guys think that my country will become an upper middle income country by 2025? Okay, let's see in 5 years time. Thank you for watching this video. This is the end of part 1. The next parts with more information about Vietnam economy will be published later. So please subscribe my channel to listen about the new videos. Thank you for watching again. Goodbye.